Hey Gemini, I've already tried to record your reading twice, but my phone keeps acting up. So we're going to try one more time. So I have a past, present, and future spread for you, and we'll start by the bottom of the deck as your overall energy, which is the King of Wands. King of Wands. He has his ace here, his spark of an idea, his passion. The Kings are a culmination of all the court cards, basically. At its most basic meaning is he. If you don't know the court cards, we've got the page, the knight, the queen, the king. So the page does, all the legwork of whatever its suit is. So in this case, there's a passion, there's something, some idea, some creative, whatever. There's a passion here, right? So the page is the one that does the legwork. They do the research, the materials gathering, all that, so that the knight, who's next in line, can put it into action. Then it goes on to the queen, who nurtures it until it's ready to move on to the king, who masters it and enjoys it, basically. So this is where you're at. You are in the enjoyment phase of this passion of yours. So in your past, we have the Fool, which is the Fool. Essentially, the keyword that usually comes with it, or key phrase, is taking a leap of faith. I don't like the keywords, but essentially that's what it is. So had a brain fart there. Anyways, so you've gone on a journey. You've started something new. You took a leap of faith of some sort, and next with it is the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups in reverse, though. So you see this man who's in reverse, but you see this man. He's blacked out. Or I guess it could be a woman, but I think it's a man. It doesn't matter though. He's blacked out, and it's like, it feels to me, because it's in the reverse. So the Seven of Cups is options, right? You've got lots and lots of options. You've got a choice to make, and there's too many, maybe not too many, but a lot of ways it could go. But because he's blacked out, it's like you don't see them, or you don't see an option. Maybe you see some of them, but not all of them. You're missing something, and which explains the leap of faith that you took. Like, okay, well, I don't see all the options, so I'm just gonna jump in and go for one, right? And I'm talking fast because I may run out of time here on my phone again. So Ace of Pentacles is in your current energy. Ace of Pentacles, the Death in reverse, and Strength upright. The Ace of Pentacles is, so all aces are new beginnings, but they're also like gifts from the universe, or ideas, or whatever the situation is, given to you by the universe. And it seems like this is the universe being very glaringly obvious. Hey, this is the right path for you. This is the right choice that you should be taking. And because it's a pentacle, it's in the physical realm, right? It's career. It's a career, or a house, a home, a family, anything in your physical vicinity that gives you some sort of security or foundation. And paired with death, the Death card, it's also again hitting home that this is a new beginning. And I say that because the Death is an ending, and with all endings come new beginnings. But because it's in the reverse, I feel like it's telling you, yes, you can have this, and this is what the universe believes that you need, but you're going to have to make a sacrifice. Some sort of sacrifice has to be made, and you're going to have the strength in order to do it. And you do have the strength. You are strong enough to make this sacrifice, to start this new path. See, there's a pathway here. I don't know if you can see that. But you're going to have to make that sacrifice. So next is your future placement, right? So then you have the Queen of Pentacles. This is you, as I told you before, in the court cards, the Queen is the nurturer of her suit. This is you nurturing this new path, this idea being offered to you. And next to the Seven of Wands, not only are you nurturing it, you're also defending it. You're not letting anyone, step on your toes and tell you, give you their opinions. And maybe you're accepting their opinions, but you're not, necessarily following them. You're defending your strength, the strength that you have in the present. You'll be defending that in the future. Like, I've got this. I know what I'm doing. Which leads you to the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is, well, again, it's another ace, so another beginning, but in this case, I feel like it's a beginning being offered to you again by the universe, with that hand there, and it's an overflowing of some sort. Cups are love, intuition, creativity. In this case, I believe it's intuition. Perhaps creativity, though, because this is like, Cups and Wands are both creativity, right? But Cups are more internal. I don't know what I said. Cups and Wands. I hope I said Wands because that's what I meant. Wands are more external. But perhaps this is the internal creativity given to you and being overflowed, to achieve this external creativity that you're able to sit and relax and enjoy. And with that creativity, with you accepting it, it's allowing you to move on. Now, again, the phrase that typically comes along with this card is moving on to calmer waters, because you can see this man here is ferrying what appears to be a woman and her child across the water to the next shore. And you can see here the Ace of Cups, that the water is very calm in this cup too. I mean, in this card too. So, accepting this gift from the universe, listening to your intuition, and allowing it to come inward is going to allow you to move on from your past, or maybe this past here. Maybe it'll allow you to move on from, this maybe false start, we could call it, and achieve this, the King of Wands. So, I still have phone power, so let's go ahead and clarify. So, that's your past. Clarify your present. Hey, I like that. All right, and then your present. Alrighty, so your past is clarified by the Five of Cups and the Knight of Swords. So the Five of Cups is our card of focusing on what's going wrong instead of what's going right. So maybe that leap of faith that you took, maybe you were focused on not knowing all the options. And I say that because, like, he's focused on these three cups here, and then he's not looking at these two that he still has available to him. So, or maybe it's just that. Maybe it's you only seeing the negative options instead of the positive. Or the ones that, maybe you're only seeing the ones that you think aren't going to work and not seeing the ones that are, but then you took that leap anyway. Maybe before you had all the information. And then the Knight of Swords in reverse, he is, swords are information. They are anything to do with the mental realm, their communication and knowledge and all that. And knights are very, very fast acting. I feel like maybe though it's just saying you didn't have all the information. You didn't have all the information that you needed to make the choice that would benefit you the most. Okay? Maybe that's why you took that leap of faith. You didn't have all the information. All you could see was, the options that you didn't want, or the options that, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. And so, clarifying the present is the Ace of Wands. So, King of Wands. Remember I said this is his ace? Well, you've got it here. This is your present moment. And this is the gift that the universe is offering you. This is the spark of an idea in your physical realm. So that's just, emphasizing what I've already said. And so then we get to your future placement, and you've got the King of Wands. This time, though, it's in the reverse. And it's with the Hierophant. So the King of Wands, in which I've already explained what he means in the traditional way, but in this deck of cards that I'm using to clarify, the imagery in it is just so deep. And so typically I don't read them the same way I do the Rider-Waite-Smith. In this particular card, the King of Wands, its traditional meaning is the same, but what I see is those two moon-looking things. They look like maybe moons. That one and that one. And then there's that liminal space in between. To me, it feels like this card is saying that this king is, caught between two worlds. He's partially in the 3D, partially in the 5D, right? But he's in the reverse, clarifying your future, and he's right next to the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a card of systems, societal norms, religion, but here it doesn't feel that way to me. Not paired with the King of Wands in reverse. It feels. And the Queen of Cups comes with it. To me, it feels like, again, the queens are nurturers, and so I sort of just feel like you're nurturing your spirituality, in achieving this goal. This it looks like the end goal is to move away from the past, right? And begin anew and nurture this idea that you've got, that's been given to you by the universe. I think that's going to cause you to also nurture your spirituality, and maybe you'll find yourself actually, you know, I'm also getting as above, so below with both of these, King of Wands and the Hierophant. So it's almost like you're the best way I can put it is that you are going to be like seriously listening to your intuition here. I believe this is like the start of you. You know, in the beginning, you couldn't see all of the options. You couldn't see the what the universe, where it was trying to nudge you, so to speak. And it's like in the end, like you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear all the, I don't want to say voices because that sounds a little. It sounds like there's a mental issues related to that phrase, but that's not what I mean. You're just going to be hearing the nudges, right? That's what that feels like. And then clarifying the original King of Wands as your overall energy, you have the Three of Cups in reverse, which is funny because the Seven of Cups is underneath that, which is, Seven of Cups is what you got in your past with the Fool. So the Three of Cups in reverse, the Three of Cups is your celebration card, your, every time I look at this specific version, it sort of looks like a witch coven. So like your tribe, your group, whatever. Being that it's in the reverse, clarifying the King of Wands, you know, it's I don't think that it's a if it were in the upright, I would say that maybe this is something that you're working on with, you know, friends or family or a group, people you're close to, but it's in the reverse. So I'm going to say it's not like this is something, I think it's implying that it's something that you must do on your own, which would make sense that you need the strength, right? You need the strength to make that sacrifice, whatever that sacrifice is for you. And then with the Seven of Cups right behind that Three of Cups, I feel like it's saying it's confirming what I said before about you listening to the nudges, right? You'll see all the options now. You'll see all the options, and you'll know which one is for you. There won't be any question. You won't have to take a leap of faith. You'll just know. So, okay, one last thing, because I've been doing it for everyone else, and it's only fair. I'm going to take a card from my Woodland Wardens Oracle deck. Sorry, brain fart again. I'm going to take a card from here, and the reason I do this for myself is to, a lot of times I'll find synchronicities in here. Not only will I find synchronicities with the animal and the plant that shows up, but I also, it kind of tells me what energy I need to be in to achieve what I want to achieve. So, you got two. Cool. So the first is the Dragonfly and Pansy with balance, but it's in the reverse. And I don't really see a lot of emphasis on balance here. In fact, I see none, except maybe with the Hierophant, the duality of the Hierophant. And then the other one is the Hare and Oak, new opportunities, 100%. 100%. So I'm going to quickly read these to you. I'm running out of time. All right, the first is, it's not that one. The next one. Balance. It says, perching with a delicate grace, the dragonfly is a symbol of balance. Nimble and attuned as a dancer, it moves effortlessly through the air, shifting direction with ease. Pansies are named for the French word penser, meaning thought, and were given by the Victorians as a token of thoughtfulness. Together, the dragonfly and pansy indicate a harmony of thought and action. It was in the reverse, so I'm going to read you the reverse meaning. It says, you have stumbled into an unhealthy obsession. as depicted here in the Five of Cups. That's, yeah. Yep. You've stumbled into an unhealthy obsession. Recall the way a dragonfly shifts in direction with ease and aim for the same nimbleness of thought. Yeah, yeah. Okay. And then the Hare and Oak. New opportunities. Let me show you this. Did I show you the, I'm sorry, I didn't show you this one. That was the dragonfly and pansy, and it was in a reverse with balance. And then the Hare and Oak, new opportunities. Hares are often symbols of fertility and love. Associated with the Celtic goddess Esther, they represent springtime, a season of birth and abundance. A variety of ancient cultures have linked the oak tree with bravery and vitality. In ancient Greece, the oak was revered as the tree sacred to Zeus. In Norse mythology, it represented the tree of life. And in ancient Celtic and Druidic cultures, the oak was associated with the god Dagda. It was in the upright. So a celebration of good fortune is in order. If you have been in a caregiving role, this is a reminder that your sacrifices will be repaid. All right, so I think that's it for you, Gemini. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.